Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to other brothers who are still fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on a pregnant woman who was found dead with stab wounds, and a teenager who was arrested for her murder. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says a suburban teenager was arrested and charged in connection to the death of a pregnant mother who was found with stab wounds during a fire in an apartment off Ogden Avenue Monday evening, police said. Nidus Ravukis, a 19-year-old from Westmount, was arrested by Downers Grove police Tuesday in connection to the crime. He is facing charges of first-degree murder, robbery, arson, homicide of an unborn child, and cruelty to animals. Around 6 p.m. Monday, Downers Grove authorities responded to a structure fire in an apartment building in the 2300 block of Ogden Avenue. A pregnant 30-year-old woman, later identified as Eliza Morales, was found in the building with apparent stab wounds, authorities said. She was treated by paramedics and pronounced dead at the scene. Her family told NBC Chicago she was cooking dinner when she was attacked and that none of them know Ravukis. Morales was 5 months pregnant and leaves behind a 1-year-old daughter, her family said. The incident is being investigated as a homicide. Ravukis will appear in court for a detention hearing on Wednesday and is being held in DuPage County Jail, authorities said. The DuPage County Coroner's Office has yet to release the woman's cause of death. A second person was treated at the fire scene for smoke inhalation and transported to a local hospital. Yeah, so, this was a spirit of vengeance. This teenager who murdered this woman, this pregnant mother, was a spirit of vengeance. Ecclesiasticus 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And this teen definitely laid sore strokes upon that woman by stabbing her. And that judgment playing out appeased or satisfied the wrath of the Lord who made that spirit of vengeance. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. And that woman died because the spirit of vengeance, that death angel was sent upon her. Because the Lord could have had it whereas, she got stabbed but just got wounded and survived. But instead, she died and her unborn child died. Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And that woman was punished to destruction. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And through his spirits that are created for vengeance, the Lord kills and wounds wicked people every day. And there is no one that can save these people who are destined to be destroyed by the judgments of the Lord. The police couldn't save her. the firefighters, the paramedics. Nobody could deliver her out of the hand of the Lord. First Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And the Lord brought that woman, that pregnant mother, down to the grave using his spirits of vengeance. After sore strokes were laid upon her via her getting stabbed. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody perishes being innocent. So that woman was not innocent, and neither was her unborn child. And, the simple minded people will say, well, how could an unborn child be wicked? Well, if you understand reincarnation, every third or fourth generation after you die, you're brought back. So basically, the Lord brought judgment upon that unborn child before they could be born because they were wicked. And the Lord stopped them before they could even enter the world. You see, this just proves that majority of people really don't know the Lord. They don't understand how the Lord operates because they go up in these harlot houses, aka these churches, and they're told, oh, God is good and God loves everybody, and they get told a bunch of lies. So that's what they believe. Meanwhile, the Lord is using his spirits of vengeance daily to wound and kill people. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's what's happening on a daily basis. Wicked men, wicked women, and wicked children are getting put to death for their wickedness. They're reaping what they have sown. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And for that woman and her unborn child, it was their time to die. And there was nothing that could have been done to save either one of them. There was nothing that could have been done to deliver them out of the hand of the Lord. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And that's right. Because you fall into the hand of the Lord, and there's nobody that can save you. You are completely at the mercy of the Lord. And if he decides that he wants to take your spirit, then you're gone. And through his judgments, the Lord is going to make these wicked, simple-minded people afraid of him. Because there's a lot of people out here that lack fear of the Lord. And the Lord is going to put that fear in them through the multitude of judgments that he's going to unleash upon this earth. Romans 2:11. For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. And that's right. The Lord is no respecter of persons. So this woman being a pregnant woman, the Lord didn't care. In the eyes of the Lord, she was wicked, and that unborn child was wicked. And so the Lord put both of them to death. And I know it sounds harsh, it sounds cold, but that's the reality of what happened. That's the reality. Salakia. That's the reality of what always happens. The Lord is not a respecter of persons. He doesn't care if you're an elderly person, doesn't care if it's a child, a baby, man, woman. He doesn't care if you're so-called black person, so-called white person. He doesn't care if you're any one of these heathens. At the end of the day, the Lord cares about who's being righteous and who's being wicked. If you're being wicked, you're getting spirits of vengeance sent upon you and sore strokes laid upon you, regardless of who you are or who you think you are. And that's what we see play out every day. The sore strokes of the Lord being laid upon wicked people who daily provoke him unto wrath. And for the people that will say, well, she was at home cooking, like what could she have done wrong? Well, she clearly did something. Maybe not that day in particular, but at some point in her life, she had done something, or maybe multiple things that angered the Lord. You see, when the Lord passes judgment, he doesn't always pass judgment right then and there when you're in the midst of doing wickedness. Sometimes the Lord will let you basically build up a tab of wickedness, and then he'll send those spirits of vengeance upon you. See, the Lord moves on his own time, and he judges people when he wants to, how he wants to, for whatever his reasons are. You don't get to question why the Lord does what he does. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They feel like the Lord's supposed to answer to them, and that's never how that has worked, and that will never be how that works. We answer to the Lord. He doesn't answer to us. And all of these wicked, entitled, simple-minded, foolish people, they're going to continue to be visited by the Lord in these horrific ways. Because the Lord has to put them in their place and remind them who they are and where they belong. And equal to him in any form is nowhere near where these people belong. Especially these wicked women. Because a lot of these women, majority of these women, have been taught that they're bigger than the program. These women out here think that they're supposed to be worshipped instead of worshiping the Lord. That's why, as far as us Israelites are concerned, majority of the 2/3 that are going to be destroyed are going to be women. Because these so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American women they have gone so far off course that there's nothing left to do but destroy them. And that's why, in particular, you see these ICE agents that going after Israelites, so-called black people, definitely the so-called Hispanics, the Latinos, and the Native Americans. Primarily, they're going after the tribes. And then, the heathens are getting thrown in there as well, and those 2 Edomites that got smoked. But, yeah, the Lord is doing some house cleaning first. And he's judging the wicked of his people, his chosen people, who are the Israelites. And the Israelites primarily make up the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But because majority of his people are wicked, he's bringing heavy judgment upon them. That's why so-called black people are constantly getting gunned down by the cops, and now uh, the native tribes are getting attacked by ICE agents because the Lord, he's sending that sword upon his people. And this woman, Eliza Morales, this pregnant mother who got stabbed to death, basically, the Lord sent the spirit of vengeance upon her. And she sounds like she's from the Northern Kingdom, that she's one of those Latinas, I guess, so called. And this is just going to keep happening because these wicked people, they have to be punished. The Lord is judging his own people. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakudash, the water Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. I hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.